The National Emergency Management Agency says it has brought back 4,000 Nigerians to their communities in Gaidam, Yobe State. Over 6,000 Nigerians were forced to flee their homes across the border owing to threats from members of the Boko Haram sect. Some of the fleeing Nigerians from Karanga, Lalewa and Difa townships in Niger Republic died while trekking back to Nigeria owing to lack of food and water. Our correspondent Gloria Umezoke reports.
Under the scorching sun for several days, these returnees walked without food or water back to the Nigerian borders, looking weary and dehydrated. They have just arrived Gaidam, a desert area in Yobe State, few kilometers away from the Niger Republic border. Frequent attacks by the Boko Haram sect has forced many to flee their homes and means of livelihood as fishermen in Niger Republic, where they found refuge for years.
The soldiers told us that we should leave. We should leave outside to Lelewa. So the soldiers began to leave. So all the people living there, we left. Some of them, Boko Haram, come that very day and burn the people's property. They even start blocking roads that will lead us to that Lelewa that they say we should leave. So they start blocking the roads. They kill. So many people died. If they meet you living, they will kill you at a spot. So many of us trek almost 80 kilometers with leg at Sahara. And in that trekking, almost 20-something people died. Women born. So many women delivered, and they delivered them dead.
22-year-old Mariam Haruna used to be a happy mother of 3 until Boko Haram militants killed her husband in one of the attacks, while 2 of her children drowned while scampering for safety. The returnees recounted heart-wrenching stories of how much pain and grief they went through. The women and children, unfortunately, are the most vulnerable in the attacks. In the middle of the violence, the situation continues to deteriorate. Thousands of women have died of starvation and thirst in the process. But girls like Jamila, just about 20-year-old, have given birth to this beautiful baby girl who is just 3-day-old, born in transit. Right now, so many concerns are there about the future of these babies. Jamila's grandmother, who apparently is still very young, explained that there has been no treatment since she gave birth. They're only eager to go back home. This is another sorry sight. They queue up in their hundreds, men, women and children alike, scrambling for pieces of bread and a cup of tea.
So far, we have identified citizens from a number of states, Yobe, Borno, Kano, Sokoto, Bauchi, Benue, Taraba, Niger. So far, but as the registration of profiling continues, whenever we identify those people, we separate them accordingly like that. We have already made provisions for vehicles, but when we are done with the registration, then we put them on the vehicles and take them to their various state capitals.
We have also activated the general hospital, the doctors who are there, and with them to give us the list of drugs they need so that we'll buy and give them.
NEMA has so far received an estimated 6,000 returnees from Niger and transported 3,700 back to their various states. Thousands more are still being expected to arrive. For now, continuous rescue goes on while the already rescued victims here at the camps try to make sense of their ordeal and their newfound freedom. Gloria Umezoke, Channels Television News.
What a plight begging for attention. In the meantime, the SocioEconomic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked the federal government to urgently provide and facilitate access to adequate health care for the children and women raped and impregnated by Boko Haram militants. A statement issued by SARP says that having survived the horrific crime of rape and sexual violence, these children and women should be spared further physical and mental torture by ensuring that they are urgently allowed access to all necessary medical treatment. The statement says that such medical treatment must be provided on a non-discriminatory basis. According to SARP, under international law, all victims of conflict, including rape victims, must receive the best care as soon as possible. Now, the Election Petition Tribunal in Imo State says it has received a total of 38 petitions on the recently concluded general elections in the state. Out of the 38 petitions on the recently concluded general elections, 8 are on the senatorial, 18 on the House of Representatives, and 12 are on the State House of Assembly elections. So far, none has been filed by any party on the governorship election. Speaking to China Television off-camera at the Secretariat of the Tribunal in Owerri, the Imo State capital, the Secretary of the Election Petition Tribunal, Mr. Adamu Aliyu, said the tribunal has commenced sitting and has given an extension of 1 week for parties in the governorship elections to file their petitions. Mr. Aliyu promised that the tribunal in Imo State will do its job according to law without any fear or favor and ensure that all matters are treated according to merit. He warned that the tribunal will not entertain any flimsy applications by lawyers aimed at delaying proceedings unnecessarily. Staff of the hydropower plant in Jeba, Kwara State have staged a protest against the management of the company over the sack of 288 of their colleagues. The workers under the aegis of National Union of Electricity Employees accused the company of laying off staff members without cogent reasons. The protesters also alleged that the sacked persons were being replaced by persons not knowledgeable about the job.
Prompting this thing now is that experienced people are being removed from service. And this is power sector. Most of the things you can't get them in the book is experience. Unless they want the whole system to collapse, then remove the experienced ones. Maybe they might have made their own money, so they don't care. But we care for the masses, we care for the country. That's why we are talking all these things.
The experienced staff that have been laid off should be called back. Because, just as my colleague have said, if the experienced staff are allowed to just go like that, then in the nearest future, the electricity industry will completely collapse. It means the generator we are using now, we will need more of generators to be used.
Henceforth, senior police officers in each command will be held responsible for any roadblock mounted in their jurisdiction. This warning is coming from the Acting Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, during his maiden briefing with officers and men of the Southwest Zone in Ikeja, Lagos State. Ms. Arase added that 16 teams of officers have been deployed across the country for strict compliance.
We have to enforce the ban on roadblocks, and that ban is going to stand. As at yesterday, we deployed about 16 teams to the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to ensure strict enforcement. So I'm going to hold the divisional police officers, the area commander, and the commissioners of police in whose jurisdiction those roadblocks are found accountable. I don't want to ambush anybody, and that is why I gave you sufficient notice to tell you that those roadblocks, they are not performing the duties that we expect them to perform. They have become nuisance, they have become points of corruption, and that is one area where the dignity of the average policeman has been rubbished. And we must be able to regain that primacy of internal security management as we used to do.
While the Anambra State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 2 suspected distributors of cocaine and heroin in Obosi, a community in the Idemili North local government area of the state. The suspects were arrested with 109 pinches of cocaine and 69 wraps of cannabis. Briefing the media on the development, the state commander of NDLEA, Mr. Sule Momodu, said one of the suspects is the third major distributor of cocaine in Obosi. His arrest would reduce the sale of cocaine by 50% in the area. Mr. Momodu is worried about the increasing rate of drug abuse in Obosi and warns citizens who indulge in the illicit trade that the command will ensure that whoever is caught will face justice. A 20% growth in ICT investment will increase the country's GDP by 1%. This is according to the Global Connectivity Index on West Africa released by Huawei at the company's Cloud Congress in Lagos. The Cloud Congress, which attracted IT enthusiasts from across the globe, highlighted the role of cloud computing in today's business world. Our correspondent Chris Lems reports.
And I was part of
It's the Huawei Cloud Congress West Africa 2015, taking place at Oriental Hotels, Lagos. And IT enthusiasts are here discussing cloud computing.
As well. We are in very exciting time.
Mr. Peng Song, president of Huawei Western Africa region, gets the Congress rolling.
I sincerely thank you and welcome one and all to this first Huawei Cloud Congress West Africa. And I hope you can fully understand Huawei's IT strategy and our solutions through today's conference.
Thereafter, various speakers file out, touching on Global Connectivity Index, as well as 5 enablers of digital transformation, including data centers, cloud services, big data, broadband, and the internet as the way forward.
As a business, I want to know what are people saying about me on Facebook, on Twitter, and so I need to be able to look at all of that. I need to bring it all together and be able to also utilize it to inform my business about ways I should be doing something different. And so cloud computing gives me the capability of very quickly being able to analyze all that data without having to buy huge amounts of equipment in my own data center and to have that expertise in-house.
So we are in a very exciting time in the Middle East and Africa region with third platform technologies being adopted like cloud, big data, social and mobility. So my presentation was all the data center consolidations, resource optimization and changes that enterprises have to make in order to cope with the third platform technologies adoption and what kind of data center transformations they will have to make in order to strategize and in order to be more efficient in this dynamic IT era.
Huawei Cloud Congress also showcased the Fusion Cloud solution and Ocean Store V3 Converged Storage solution. Done with the Cloud Congress, Huawei says it is set to make IT simple and business agile. Chris Lems, Channels Television News.
When News at 10 returns, interbank lending rates rises by an average of 9.25 points, driven by large sales of treasury bills. That's in business news. Do join us again.